Surrendering is one of the most difficult tasks. We may be able to surrender small things if it is useless for us. That is not a surrender. You give out something which you don't need it in the name of giving away. But when we look at the aspect of surrender, it's very difficult because our learning is such that we are existing on the basis of a hold on ourselves. The hold on ourselves is the feeling that I am existing. So when this feeling is there, surrender to the core is surrendering this feeling that I am somebody. And this is the basis of our individuated existence. So surrendering the individuated existence of a person willfully is not that easy, because we don't know what is the outcome of that. So we try to hold. But there will come occasions in our life whereby a person can get into a state where he is placed in between life and death. It can be a physical phenomena or it can be a psychological phenomena also. Surrendering comes there. I remember very clearly there was many occasions in my life where I came very closer to life and death. At times psychological, at times physical, maybe together. I remember when I was traveling on the source of Ganges through difficult tracks years before, this happened to me. Because there was no road, everything was closed, but there was a great drive to go to the source of Ganges, which was a cultural thing actually, but I have a deep desire to do this. So I, together with my brother and other two friends, we went there. We had to trek 96 kilometers. That was no problem because we were young, so we were trekking. And when we were beyond Gangotri, the Himalayan soil and the rocks have no connection actually, it is just very loose. We came to a point, very happily we were coming, very thrilled. We came to a point and we have noticed that the path means a small foot path. The path has collapsed already by a landslide. The sliding is going on. It has gone, but still the sliding continued. So what to do? Nothing. You could go back. There is no problem. But we decided to cross. That was a foolish idea actually, but we didn't know. That was the first time we were looking at such a scene. So we were thrilled and we thought we could cross. The sliding was going on, soil was coming down, loose soil with water was coming down, and we were trying to cross this. And by holding our breath, concentrating fully, we could cross. Luckily, there was no slide when we were passing. So, victorious, very happy. Because it gave a lot of strength and confidence and we could cross. And then we moved a little, maybe 2 furlong or maybe 200 meters, and we took a turn of the mountain and that land was already gone. It was down there is a very big cliff. 3,000 feet below you could see Ganges flowing. and the mountain slope has already gone. And so what to do? It is impossible to cross this region because it's more than 100 meters collapsed. So the first feeling was what to do. But I decided we'll go back because impossible to cross. And when we came back to the already crossed landslide, that little way which was there has already gone. So, trapped in this small patch of footpath, where no way to go and no way to withdraw. And we didn't have proper clothes. It was, the temperature was really very low, -degrees. I had only a half sweater. Actually, I didn't have a shoes. I was wearing a slipper. It was very cold because the age was such that you could manage all these kinds of adventures. And then what to do? So we looked at each other's eyes and then really remained surprised, not surprised, big fear came. So that was the moment I understood we are going to die. Not instantaneously, maybe some hours. Because we could not climb up, we could not go down, we could not retreat back, we could not go forward, no sides to go. We could stay there. We are not dead, still we are alive. And we remained for a little time, but we understood that impossible. By night we will be dead by the temperature. So, naturally that was the moment natural surrender happened. Natural surrender happened because no way. We have seen death in front of us. What to do? No way, because there is, your rationality has no power, no strength to support you. And we remained and just left, not even prayed. There was not even a prayer came, and just what to do, just remained. And then surrender. And the thought came, if you have given life for me, it is your role to protect me if you want to protect. Otherwise, kill me. That's the only way. And not even that prayer is needed, but it came in my mind like that. If you want to keep up my life, keep up. If not, take it. And to my surprise, when this thought came, I closed my eyes, I meditated, and this thought came to me. I remained in this thought. What I have seen when I opened my eyes, I have seen a man climbing down the landslide. Really amazing experience. Impossible, somebody could. He was coming down. He just came. And it is as if you are seeing God. So I immediately touched his feet and I said, help us. Yes. What do you want? We want to go back. He didn't have the feeling to go forward because it's impossible to go forward. So I want to go back. So he said, no, impossible. You came to go to the source, you have to go forward. Special man. So I looked at his eyes and how it's possible to do this. So he said, hold on my hand. I held like a small baby, I held on his hand. And then he was starting to cross the landslide because it was very loose soil, you cannot step on it. When you step, the soil goes down. Then the rocks come and you, together with the rock and the soil, go down to the crevice. So at that time, I was holding his hand and he was making 2-3 pads for putting your legs, like with the legs, and then keeping me on the first place, from the first vertical pad, and then he's moving, making 3 pads like with his feet, and then taking like that. It took long time to cross the 100 meters, and I was not breathing, because if you breathe, your concentration will be lost. You're absolutely concentrated and hanging on this man's hand, and crossed. And then later a thought came to me that in that condition, there was no way to go, no way to retreat, no way to sidetrack, no way to go down. And if that man had not come, instead, if a tiger was coming, what could be the situation? What could be you will automatically surrender, because you will become unconscious. Because a tiger is jumping instead of this man. It could happen that you will certainly fall unconscious. And this is natural surrender. I was thinking about the whole scene after I rescued the situation. Instead of this man, a tiger jumps. That possibility is there. What would be my situation? The only way to escape is to jump up, but you will land. You cannot just fly away. Being a human being, you can't do it. And you will just come. When you come, still the tiger is there, then you will certainly fall unconscious. When there is no way to escape a situation, you will become unconscious. This is a natural system. The body has this, the intelligence has this. If you cannot take it, you will surrender automatically, both psychologically and physically. And when the tiger sees you in that condition, he can't touch you, because you are the most innocent being, because you are not resisting, you are not attacking, you are not trying to escape, you don't do anything. And so the tiger, he loses all his what do you call, aggression, and he will start to lick at you and take care of you. This is the only possibility. So I have been thinking about it. Oh, this is the effect of natural surrender. But I understood a big lesson, that most of the time we feel that we can manage things, especially in your youth. But there are situations in life that you come across where you understand that you can't manage. All human beings will come across such situations several times in their life. Not a physical situation like that, but a psychological situation. You cannot go forward, you cannot retreat, you cannot sidetrack, you cannot do anything. What to do? That's the moment when a person is really totally in crisis. And at that moment, if you are lucky, natural surrender will happen, and you just give up with awareness. The other, falling unconscious, you lose all awareness. It's not like that. One has to voluntarily, with awareness, surrender, give up to the higher consciousness which has created the entire cosmos. When we do that, then the nature knows what to do. The nature will take care of. If you have to leave, you will leave. If you have to be protected, you will be protected. And up till that time, we will try to hold on ourselves. So that's why it is the most difficult task to surrender, unless you come in between life and death. Up till that time, we try to hold on, and we feel that I can manage, I will manage. But it's not you who is managing. Because when you look at the science, how the mind is working, all our thoughts are pushed by will. In Sanskrit they call Icha. Icha means will, willing. The willing is a pure energy which is at the very depth of a person's source. And this pure energy passes into the memory box where all the past experiences are stored, and when it pushes, a thought bubbles up. It comes up on the surface, crossing the subconscious, reaching the conscious mind, and you understand that this is a thought. And then you leave the thought. Sometimes it bursts into action, sometimes it remains as thought. So this will, when you look at the will, which is the cause of all actions, rather, will is the source of action, which is the action itself in its subtlemost way. And this will, when you look, is it different from the will of the cosmos? It is not. It's the same will. The individuation comes when it passes through your past experiences. Your past experiences makes your person. But your hold on your past experiences makes your individuation. You hold on this and you feel that I am that. I have this experience. I am such and such. So all the product of your past. So when we link ourselves with this past, identify with the past, we create our own identification. And then everything that comes up from the identification seems to be your person. The will which triggers this process has nothing. There is no special will. The will of you and the will of the Lord or will of the cosmos is the same, because it's a pure energy. But when it comes into your memory box to push something, your individuation happens. And this is the point which we need to understand. So once you understand that your will and the cosmos, the will of the cosmos is the same, it is one, it cannot be two. And if a person can surrender at that moment, certainly he realizes that he is dictated by the will of the Lord or will of the universe and not of your will. So that is why in the Christian school they say, they have a prayer, let I be thy instrument and let thy will work upon me. Not even a prayer like that is needed at that state. Why should you say that? You are already at the hands of the intelligence. And then why should you pray that, yes, let I be taken care of? Already you are being taken care of by the intelligence. But we small human beings, we have this strong hold on ourselves, and so we pray. And when you see that the prayer is working out, you surrender. And the prayer also comes from surrender. So it's very interesting to see. The prayer comes from surrender, and the prayer makes you surrender in either way. So actually you don't need to pray anything when you are totally convinced that you are being taken care of by the nature. But that feeling is a very difficult feeling to get into unless you come to this crisis moment or life experiences like that. So when you get into that state, you will naturally surrender, and the result is you start to exist like a leaf which is lost from the tree, being carried by the wind. You don't know where you are being carried. It's like that. So there will be least strain, and what has to happen or what is happening is what is happening. And the life will have a completely different thrill and celebration, because you are not intervening with the process of existing. So it will be an easy life, a celebrating life, a fulfilling life. And that's the power of surrender.